So hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about expos and how you can use them for your business. It's not about just exhibiting. It could also be that you're just attending. And in the early days, that's what I did. I seriously just attended expos and I just did what I needed to do, right? Just want to check here. All right, cool. Let's do that so you can see me. So in the early days, I seriously just attended them and I just used them as part of that. And I will explain how today as well. But then I will also show you, I'll show you how, if you have a stand, what the difference is and how you can make it work for you. But at the end of the day, we're going there to meet new prospects. All right. So you've got to make sure that your prospects are actually in the room. That's super important. There's no point in going to the expo if your prospects aren't there at the expo, right? Because then you're selling to no one. Your offer has to align with the audience, with the people that are going to be there. And we've got two types of people. We've got people that are attending and walking around, and we've got people that have stands. And they are two different types of people, which means two different types of strategies. But at the end of the day, we're going there to meet new business partners as well, not just have prospects. So when we're deciding on what we're going to do, whether or not we're going to have a stand or we're going to attend the expo as a business, first we've got to understand whether or not, which is the best. Is it worth me getting a stand or is it worth me just attending? You know, what is your overall strategy? Number two, what is your offer for the day? So again, whether or not you have a stand or whether or not you're attending, what is your offer? What is the call to action for on the day? Number three is how do you prepare in advance for the day? Number four is how to manage the day when you're actually there, whether or not you're at your stand or whether or not you're just attending. And what's the etiquette, which is really important. And then the last one, which is number five, which is the post-day follow-up procedure, which I can tell you was the biggest and most important thing for me, because it was when I started doing the post-day follow-up procedure was when I actually started to make sales. That's where the sales happen. Now, product-based businesses and service-based businesses, completely different. When it comes to service-based businesses, it's usually a longer game, a much longer game. When it is product-based businesses, it's usually a shorter, it's a shorter game because you've got a physical product that is there that you're able to sell on the day, which people can see, touch, and feel. The difference between with a service-based business on how long a game it is comes down to, is that offer the right offer for the audience that's there? And do you have a really special on the day offer that is desirable? Meaning it meets the outcomes of the person and it is so desirable that someone's happy to hand over your money right then and there. But if they're not happy to hand over your money right then and there, what's number two? We have to get the email address. We have to get the email address so we can continue to nurture, develop those relationships and sell to them again. So expos done right can be massively successful. Expos done wrong can be the biggest waste of a day ever. And expos can be exhausting. I don't find them exhausting. I find them highly enjoyable. I absolutely love them. I would imagine that, that it would be different for introverts. And introverts would definitely need to sort of equip themselves a little bit stronger to be able to do that. But for an extrovert like me, I absolutely love it. There is actually a funny story I can tell you. When I had a business coach probably about 3 years ago, she sent a secret shopper to go and see what it is that I do at my expo stand. So I had no idea she was doing it. And when I had my business coaching session with her next, she said to me, Chantal, I sent a secret shopper and I couldn't believe what you did. And this is honestly what I have done and I do often, is when someone's walking past and I go, hey, what do you do? And they say to me, oh, you know, they do this, they do that, or the next thing. I look at them and I go, I'm actually a pole dancer. I mean, that's what I do for fun when I'm not an online marketer. And she was like, I can't believe you said that. I said, yeah, but it's funny and engage people. And she said, no, it actually worked. And I actually pulled it off. And that's the truth. For fun, I do like to pole dance. So, well, actually aerial silks. So, but it is, an icebreaker, and it's a great way to grab someone's attention and just strike up a conversation. And probably a little bit more exciting than, hey, how's the weather going? Or, how's this weather? Is it cold? Because that would probably bore you like the 20th conversation that you've had that day. So number one is you have to know what your overall intention is. Again, whether or not you have a stand, what's your overall intention? Whether or not you simply are attending, what is your overall intention? So why should you attend the expo? Is it to get more clients? Is it to sell more products or services? Is it just to collect leads? Is it to gain more brand awareness? Is it to find more referral partners? Which, especially for a small business expo, you cannot omit the referral partnership part of attending an expo, because there is a lot of money to be made there, is forming those key collaborations, joint ventures. Now, it is important to note that there are over, I don't know how many, Paula Brand will correct me on this one, 1,000 people that are going to be there on the day. And you've got to talk to as many of those people as possible. So you have to know what your overall intention is, and you have to prepare in advance so that you can have 1,000 conversations and not just have 10 conversations. So consider when you're exhibiting, if the cost is, say, for example, $500 for a stand, you need to make sure that you cover the cost of your day. But people often forget it's also the cost of your marketing material. It's the cost of your time that you spend there doing it. It's also the cost of the time that you spend advertising, promoting, and emailing people as well. So, for example, let's say it's $500 for their stand, then you go buy banners, then, your cost on the day as well, it could in effect probably cost you $1,500 a day for you to have that, to be there on the day. So you've got to look at it and go, well, if my cost is $1,500, what am I going to get back for $1,500? Potentially that's one sale to you, but surely even if there were 1,000 people there and you spoke to 100 people, if you had a strategy and they were the right people with the right offer, you could sell it to at least one person and make your money back. You sell to 2 people, you double your money. So it's important for you to consider what your overall intention is. It can be a little bit harder with product-based businesses, because product-based businesses, as I said, it's easier to make a sell because you've actually got physical products there and people want them. And I'd imagine for someone like, well, actually with Margaret, it's quite simple. People are not just going to buy one tag. They're going to want to buy multiple tags because they're going to want matching things. With Jane, they're not going to buy canvases without the paint because they want to be able to have the right paint to put on the canvases. With someone like Carrie Ann, we spoke about the light bulbs. People, when they buy a light, they forget they're going to need a light bulb. And often the light bulbs are showing, so they need a vintage retro looking light bulb, which can cost them, anything from $15 to $30 a light bulb. So, but it's easier for them in that respect, but the profit margin may be less. Or say, for example, and just winging it here, say, for example, with the lights and a light bulb, you may sell it for 100, maybe you're making $100, but that means you've got to sell 15 in order to make 1,500 back. So you have to look at the long game for your business. What is the overall strategy? But I'm hoping that I'm getting you to think about how does that work for a product and service-based business. And at the end of the day, it is about money. It's not just about visibility. That visibility has to result in money. I'm going to give you some key things to think about. So you want to make sure you've got brochures. You've got to make sure that you've got business cards so that at least people can take something away with them on the day as well. And as I said, it is a long game. I mean, I remember the time that I traveled all the way to Toowoomba. I went to a Toowoomba Small Business Expo. I had the accommodation over one night. I had the expo cost. I had the cost of a day. I didn't sell anything at the expo. I was able to get about 20 warm leads out of that expo, but I made a $3,000 sale about 2 months later when somebody contacted me and said that they'd met me at the expo. And that was 2 months later. So you can't judge the performance of the expo based on the day, but done strategically with a couple of these things, I think that this is going to give you some good ideas to take with you. All right. So again, if you are just attending on the day, you want to make sure that you have that overall strategy, even though you have no cost to you going besides the cost of the day and the cost of, say, your business cards and your promotional items. You want to make sure that you have a strategy. And at the end of the day, you're going to be generating warm leads that you can follow up with after the day spent. And you've got to be able to talk to as many people as possible. So making sure that you have some sort of a strategy. So the next thing is that if you commit to going to the event, it's important that you promote the event. A lot of exhibitors rely on the expo to actually do the promotion and get people there. It is incredibly important for you to get people there as well. I do simple things like set up a Facebook event, set up a LinkedIn event, invite people to those events, let people know, send it out of my email list and let people know that I'm going to be there on the day. I get them excited about what's in it for them so that they come. And I often would say something like, come and meet me, come say hi. I'd love to connect with you offline. And often I find when I go up to Brisbane, I've got people who come up to me and go, I follow you online and I came here today just to meet you in person, which is great. It's just like networking groups. I do exactly the same. I say, hey, I'm going to this networking group. Come and say hi. Come and chat to me. I'd love you to come and introduce yourself offline, because it's just another touch point of forging that know, like, and trust and that connection. So set up the events on Facebook, go and invite people, go into LinkedIn, invite them, go into Google My Business, set up the event and like people to come to that event. You can just create a Canva graphic and make sure that you keep everything center so that the event cover or graphic actually shows the event details. But you do need to continue to share and invite people to come to it. Also let them know, obviously, what the cost is, what the location is, what the time is, and where you're going to be on the day. So, for example, I get people to help at my stand and I'm walking around. This next event particularly, I'm going to be marshalling two speed networking events for an hour. I'm going to be in the speakers event room speaking for 20 minutes on a topic. And then I'm also going to be a panelist presenting as well in a Tina X talks. So I let everyone know what time and where I'm going to be so that they can follow me around, come and say hi and even talk to me beforehand. And in fact, I even incentivize them with a little game, which is called Grab and Tag Chantal, which is a super fun activity. Because I'm not at my stand, I let people know I'm going to be here. Grab me and tag me, and I will give you I'll give you one of my programs for free. And I probably get about 20 of those in a day. But what that's doing is they're tagging me, they're grabbing me, they're tagging me, and they are basically doing my marketing for me. So it's user-generated content. They're going out and saying, hey, I met Chantal. Hey, I've just got this program. Hey, I'm at the expo. I'm now increasing my audience to other like-minded people. So you want to let people know as well where they've got to register. A lot of the time people don't know and they're like, oh, I didn't know you were there. Believe it or not, I actually ask people to add it to your calendar. Asking people to add it to your calendar will actually get them to add it to their calendar rather than just register for the event and not add it to their calendar. So even in Facebook events, when they click going to an event, you can now actually add it to your calendar as well. So communicate that to them and let them know. Try and lure them to attending the event by talking about what's in it for them. So I will let everyone know there's going to be a special on the day offer. I won't tell them what it is. But I do let them know there will be a special on the day offer. I'll let them know if there's a prize or anything that's going to be on the day. And then I will tell them what the prize is. So for example, for the tag and grab Chantal, or if there's going to be a freebie. However, I do not do what everyone else does. And that is put a bottle of champagne or some chocolates and say, put your business card in here to win a prize at the end of the day. Because I do not want cold people to follow up on. I only want warm people to follow up on. So in fact, I've got a little box from Officeworks and it says, put your business card in here only if you want a callback so that I can chat to you about how you can maximize your online marketing. And therefore, I don't end up with a massive fishbowl of business cards to follow up on. Instead, I only have a warm little group of people who actually want follow-ups, which means my follow-ups are less, my conversions are going to be more, and I can add them to my email list because they, in essence, have effectively said that they want to subscribe and they want further information.
Can I jump in here?
Please.
Because this is what we talked about when I had my one-on-one with you 2 weeks ago. For you, that is exactly what you want to do.
Yes.
Because you don't want to have people. Now, I've written it down here. For me, I want to have people putting their business cards in because I am going to be giving away one of the combi art kits. So my gift is going to someone who has a child or knows a child or wants to do the canvas themselves.
So they have
very different market.
100%.
Yes.
So
yes.
your audience, the people that you want to put their business card in, have an interest in doing artwork or value art as an adult or as a child or as a business owner who can get you to come in and do events with them. They have an interest in art, 100%. Thank you for bringing that up, Jane. Completely different strategy, but with Jane, we've considered who her audience is and we're making sure that is relevant to her. So yeah, perfect for that. Okay, so I don't believe in luring, and when you go to the event, even some of the business owners at the small will take business cards and they'll get a kid or one of their employees to run around and put a business card in every single drawer because they want to win a prize. They want to win champagne, they want to win chocolates, they want to win whatever. They're not even looking at what your business is or what your offer is. And that's what I'm not interested in as a service-based business owner. I'm not interested in that. I also keep a clipboard with me so that I can write down people's names and addresses and any conversations that we have. Now, this is really important. I landed a very, very, very big deal with an association because I had a conversation and they wanted me to come and present to plumbers and speak to them about how they can manage their social media accounts more effectively. So they asked me, I wrote it down. I was able to then go in and have a chat to them because I'd written all the notes, had a conversation with them about supporting their association, and then I actually became a corporate member. So really, really important you write notes and so that you can remember, because you can have many, many conversations. So I often have a clipboard or even a clipboard at your stand to say, if you'd like to have a conversation and talk more about this, please put your details in. We can chat. Now, the other thing you can do is actually have an iPad ready to go. So rather than you having a clipboard and relying on people writing their email addresses correctly, or some people don't have business cards, so you actually have to provide blank business cards as well for them to put their card in if they are interested. But another thing you can do is you could have an iPad and simply get them to fill out, say, for example, an expressions of interest. So for me, I would use something like Jotform or Google Forms. And literally it's like, oh, if you want to talk to me about it, you can actually go in and book a call right now here. And you can book it on my calendar here and they can do it automatically themselves. So you're doing the work on the day and you don't have a massive follow-up the next day. Or alternatively, like for example, Jane could actually get them to book in for the next paint and sip right then and there and take payment and get them to book it in by being logged in. Or alternatively, I could say, here's a Jotform expressions of interest. What are you interested in? Let's book in a call. And that way they're automatically added to my database. They're automatically booking in a call and it's self-initiated. So I'm not getting time wasters, which I am going to talk to as well. Another thing I often do, and we weren't able to do this during COVID, which was shocking, but was have balloons. So I have ginormous helium balloons. I've managed to find the thumbs up helium balloons, which is one of my sort of key messages that I always use is the thumbs up emojis. And then I've got massive emoji helium balloons and I fly them high above my stand because else people don't know where to find your stand. So they don't know where to find your stand. So I always do a live at the beginning of the day and I go, here I am, look for the big balloons. That's where you'll find my stand and my special offer and my wonderful helpers that are going to be there. But remember, this is where I'm going to be because I'm not going to be at my stand. So come tag and grab me to win a prize. So it's all about communication. So talking about promotion again, I always do a live as I arrive, just to let people know this is where I am, this is how long I'm going to be here for, this is where I'm going to be. If there's any sort of parking information that they may need to know about. And then you also go and post in your Facebook and LinkedIn events. And I also check in where I am as well. I also send an email out usually the night before, just to say, hey, this is where I am, this is what I'm going to be doing, and there'll be a special on the day offer. I also, because some people can't physically come to the event, so for example, someone like Jody and Carrie Ann, who are in further locations, I also have an online offer as well, which I say to people, hey, this expires within 24 hours, but I'm going to offer you this as well for those out of towners who can't see me, because what is the chances of me going to Adelaide and having an expo in Adelaide or having an expo at Jody's whoop whoop in the bush? Not much. So I will often extend my offer out to them as well. So number one was know what your intention is. Number two is about promoting. Number three is about inviting people. You actually have to continually invite people, and you've got to keep telling them about it, and you've got to continually get people excited about it. Oh, okay. You've got to continually get people excited about it. So on Facebook, you can invite people with the little invite button. You get up to 500 people that you can invite. And for me, I would be inviting people who are in the area. I'm not going to invite people that are not on the Gold Coast if it's a Gold Coast event. So I'm going to go in and invite the right people, and the right referral partners, let them know that I'm there and let them know what's in it for them. The same is for on LinkedIn. You can go and invite the right people for it. You can also share it on your personal profiles. You can ask your friends to share it. And obviously your clients to share it as well, and let them know that it's coming up. Of course, email marketing, go out and invite them, let them know how they can register and attend on the day. So for example, this particular expo that we've got on at the moment, they actually have to register to attend the event. So I'm going to share that registration link and let them know which one to do. Now, number 4 is use your cheerleaders, okay? We often forget about referral partners and past clients that we have. They are great people to send out and say, hey, it'll be great to connect with you there. Come and say hi. Oh, and if you know of anybody else who's looking to connect with me, here are the event details. Could you share it with them? So don't forget to look at those referral partners as well. And guess what? An good old-fashioned call works a treat. As well as sending a text message to say, hey, I'm going to be there. It'll be great to see you. Come say hi. So number 5 is remind, because as I said, people won't put it in their diaries. And, for me, if I commit to something, I put it in my diary. If I'm not that committal, I won't put it in my diary. So continue to tell people, put it in your diary. Put it in your diary. Come and say hi. So you keep replying to them, keep responding, keep the excitement up, and remind them, of course, that they've got to register if they do need to register. But the best way to get them there is to continue to remind them what's in it for them, the special on the day offer, or just coming and saying hi or connecting with you, or taking advantage of all the other offers there on the day, but really remaining upbeat and excited as you continue to remind them. Now, number 6 is, and this is a little bit harder sort of for the introverted people, but you need to be a social butterfly. You're going to be talking to strangers, okay? So it can make people feel a little uncomfortable because they're so used to being behind the screen. But it certainly does, just like I said with Margaret earlier, it is just do it. Just do it, and every time it will get better and better, and you will build on that skill. And as business owners, we need to build on that skill because we have to be able to effectively communicate what we do to the right people, and we've got to be able to effectively communicate and get people to pay us money and take money from people. These are skills that we need to develop, but we can prepare some of this in advance. So you are going to be chatting to strangers. Your ideal client is there. You've got to sort of be a little bit intuitive as to who those people are. And you've got to also establish who the time wasters are so you can deflect them. And I will talk about that in the next one. but keep reminding what's in it for them. Sorry, don't start with a hard sell. So in a networking group, okay, so even though it's a social butterfly, it is social. You're not at a networking event, which means you're not going to go and do a 1-minute pitch. Instead, you're going to ask them how they are. You're going to ask them, hi, what brought you here today? What brought you here today? What business do you have? And then identify an opportunity with you with that person. If you can't identify an opportunity, ask more questions so you can get more familiar with what it is that they're doing. Well, do you market your business online? For Jane might say, when last did you draw something? When last did you doodle? When you last drew or doodled, did you enjoy it? Like, did it bring out joy for you? Margaret might be, what do you grow? What is your favorite plant to grow? What have you had the greatest success with? Awesome. Just striking up those conversations to get to know them better. So starting with, hey, what brought you here today is a really good one. What brought you here today? What do you do? Do you garden? So always bring it back to what you do. So, Paul, if they're walking past and they, looking at his stand over here, go, hey, what brought you here today, just to bring them in, but then go, hey, do you know anybody that, so don't presume it's them, but do you know anybody who may be looking for a driving instructor on the Northern Gold Coast area? Just simply because that way you're going to identify, yes, they are or do know, and that's great. You can further the conversation and nurture and engage them, or no, they know no one. So no worries. Have an awesome day today. You don't need to talk to them any further. It's okay. You can pass them on. That way you're not wasting their time or your time. So number 7 is the time wasters strategy. Okay. Be aware that there are people simply showing up to get freebies. They are going there for the stubby coolers, the free pens, the caps, and going there to put their business card to win the chocolates and the champagne. So, but we don't want those time wasters. So we need to learn how to identify them. Your ideal client could be walking past you and they may be feeling too scared to approach you. So you need to approach and have that conversation with them. A question can often get the right person as well. So like I mentioned with Paul, do you know anybody who is looking for a driving instructor on the Northern Gold Coast? Like, it's either a no or a yes. And that way you're going to identify if it's a time waster or not. Straight away you're going to identify that right person. So your ideal client could be walking past and you could be talking to a complete time waster who's wanting freebies. The amount of people who've said to me, Chantal, can you just fix me? I'm locked out of Facebook. Can you just come and fix me on Facebook? And I don't know how to remove this person. And do you know how to block me like this? And I'm sitting going, my right person might be walking past me right now. And this person's just trying to get some free shit out of me. So excludes the shite word. So at the end of the day, I always go, I might say something like this. I'd love to help you with that. But for me to do that properly, because now I'm respecting mine and their time, for me to do that properly, we need to lock in a chat. So if you'd like to work further with me, shall we do that now? And then they'll go, oh, is there a fee or is there whatever? And you'll know straight away whether or not they're a time waster or whether or not they're actually committed to working with you. So if someone is coming there and they're talking to you, and again, they're just looking at your table and talking to you, but every time you keep bringing it back to your business and keep trying to engage them with what it is that you do and who you help, which is why you're there and why they should be there, to steer clear of that, again, you could say, I'd love to chat more with you about this right now. If you write your details down here, I'll be in touch with you tomorrow so that we can have an uninterrupted chat. Now, literally, I have these scripted things that I will say. They are prepared and they are ready, and I'm an extrovert. So introverts, this is like the best thing for you ever, to have those sentences there, have them tucked away on a clipboard behind your banner. So you can just go over there, and when that person's there and they just keep talking to you, they're not even buying. It's like, often I'll say to someone like Jessica, because Jessica does crystals, people come and they're touching this crystal, and what does this one do? 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 And she's like, why don't you, what we decided was, why don't you, what one are you pulled towards right now? What are you struggling with right now? Once you know what that is, I'll come help you with that and give you the right ones, and we can pay for that straight away. And we can sort out that payment straight away. As soon as you do that, you know whether or not they're actually committed to paying, or whether or not they're just to find out about what those crystals do for you. So you have to have some key sentences ready to be able to deflect those people. So offering a free service on the day doesn't really work, because then you're tied up with those people who want free things. So I'm not a big fan of those free services on the day. However, I will offer often, you know, a freebie or a special on the day offer, which will be value packed with other things. So you'll get an extra one-on-one, you'll get extra support from my tech team. We'll actually set up your leads funnel for you. You know, we'll do an audit with you. Like, we'll throw in an extra $2,500 worth of value if you sign up today with the $2,500, because it's on the Expo right now. So upfront, if you do that, that's fine. If you do a payment plan, that's fine. We'll give you half that value. And that's just winging it. But obviously, you've got to make upfront more desirable. Number 8 is on the day offers. So offer people incentives to book and pay then and there. Have upfront payment and payment plan options available. You can't say, oh, I'll send you an invoice, I'll send you this, I'll send you that. It's just too hard. You have to strike while the iron is hot. It may be a discounted offer or a freebie, but they have to pay at the show in order to get that. It's also a good time. It's also a good thing to say that those are limited. So I've only got 10 today. I've only got 5 today on each of these. Maybe you've even got like a little countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, little tags that you stick onto your displays. Make sure that all your desirable offers are well presented. I simply go and buy an A4 clear stand from Officeworks, and I've got the price. I've got upfront, I've got payment plan, and I've got all the bonuses on the day, so the inclusions and the bonuses. But more importantly, it's important for you to effectively communicate the outcomes of the offer and the bonuses rather than actually the deliverables. Really, really important. So rather than saying, you're going to get 1 hour session with me, and then you're going to get 1 hour session with my team, it's better to say, you're going to get a one-on-one appointment with me to give you a clarity session, which is going to help you, or an audit session, which is going to help you have clarity over what your offer is to which audience. And then we're going to have a look at your leads funnel. So you have to talk about the outcomes rather than the deliverables. And there is additional training on that in the blog section on the website and on YouTube as well. Make sure that it's clearly displayed. So for those of you who like to write lots of words, you have to just dumb it down, like just dumb it down completely. So number 9 is engage your audience. So you have to be proactive at the expo. Do not sit down, do not play on your phone. I wear comfortable shoes for the entire day because I am talking the entire time at the front of my table, and I'm actually stopping people as they're walking past. And again, I might start with a question: what brought you here today? Or are you straight? Like, do you drive your traffic? Do you drive your own traffic in your marketing? Are you overwhelmed with managing your own marketing? Like, how many leads do you generate a month without paying for ads? Like, I might ask some hard questions as they're walking past, which makes them go, and then I'm into that conversation straight away, which leads them to what it is that I do, not what I'm doing there that day, but it's talking about my offer. Everything comes back to my offer on the day. If you're reading a magazine, people are not going to want to approach you if you're not, keeping eye contact and have a smile. You're not going to be approachable, and you'll be really surprised at how those conversations can progress if you just have a couple of key things to start them with. Remember, it's a soft pitch. It's not a hard pitch, and pitches always need to be to the person you're standing in front of. So if someone's talking to me about a product-based business, I will talk about products. If they're talking to me about a service-based business, I will talk about service-based businesses. And you'll hear if there's product and service spaces in these calls, I'll always refer to both. Let's have a look. Listen, listen, listen. And in fact, I'll write down their pain points so that I can mirror those pain points back when I deliver my offer to them. So if, for example, Jane is talking to them and they're talking about doing artwork, say someone comes to and they keep going, my kid can't concentrate, my kid struggles to concentrate. Jane's going to say, I've got these Combi art kits, which are fabulous at keeping kids engaged and really helps them to concentrate. So are you going to mirror that back and use the same words in order to get a yes from them? There are some NLP things as well, you know, which I learned from Jane Rushton, things like mirroring the person as well. If the person speaks quick, you speak quick. If they speak slower, you speak slower. But mirroring those words certainly does help and is a really easy thing to do. Listen to the prospect, and whenever you do offer them something, you offer the what, you don't offer the how. In order to get the how, they have to pay you. This is what you have to do. You have to create a leads funnel. When you pay me, I'll show you how to do that. With product-based businesses, you just take their money. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be bundling. So it is much better. It's easier for you to have a high-priced item, but if you know the desirable offer is for someone to have 10 of those, it would be good for them to buy 10 and get one free, or buy 9 and get the 10th one free. Okay, obviously looking at your pricing position and seeing if that works for you. Get their details on the day, get their payment on the day, take notes on the day. And then number 10 is follow the hell up. I take the entire day off to follow up. Not only that, but you're going to be tired. You've spoken all day. You've been on your feet all day. You've spoken hundreds of people and you've soft pitched all day and taken notes. So it is incredibly important that the next day you sit down, I use my dining room table, I put all my business cards out, I write notes on those people again so I can further remember who they are. I call those people that were hot and that wanted to talk to me straight away. I write emails to the people to say, hey, it was great to see you. Here's the on-the-day offer. This is how you can pay. So that follow-up is exceptionally important. Do not leave it for weeks. Last week, this is a true story. I had a guy call me who said he met me at the Expo last year. And I said, well, I don't remember you. I don't remember the conversation we had. Sorry. And I put the phone down. 1 year later, he's called me. And he was a digital marketing guy. He had no idea what I did. He didn't even stalk me beforehand. I was obviously somebody who put my card in for the champagne. And that's how he got me. But 1 year later, nah, I'm out. Let's have a look. So follow up, really, really important. If you're not going to follow up, seriously, you're wasting your time going to the expo. So here's a couple of important things to remember to consider when attending or exhibiting at a small business expo. Attend well branded with material. So if your products have products on display, if you're service-based businesses, just have some feelings. So have well-branded banners, have brochures and business cards, but just have some boxes to lift things up or to move things down, just so that it doesn't just look even plain or bland. Wear comfortable shoes, have brochures and business cards, and even a notebook to record conversations. You may even want to have that iPad or even a laptop so that you can have an expressions of interest form that people can fill out straight away. You may then need power. Not all stands have power, so see that beforehand. But you could always bring, say, 2 laptops and have chargers, or even have a toggle, like a Wi-Fi toggle for internet, or you could just use your phone. It's a bit more glunky, but people can subscribe and do things on the phone just as simply. Consider how you're going to effectively capture your ideal audience's information. So are you going to run a competition on the day? Again, not champagne, or you're just going to have a clipboard or perhaps a bowl where people can put their business card into, or just an expression of interest form. I actually tear the corners of business cards of people that are hot. So if I've had a conversation with someone and they've expressed to me, like, I'm in, I want to find out more about this, I will tear the corner, because I'll phone them the next day, because the on the day offer expires in 24 hours. So all those bonuses or that special price is going to disappear. But it means you've got to make that call and send those emails the next day. Get help on the day. Find enthusiastic, chatty people to talk to your customers all day, and get them to help you. One could be at the stand. Another person could go around and introduce themselves to the stand holders, who could be potential business partners. Make sure that they are trained, raving fans, know your business well, and are happy to do that. So you'll hear Rachel and Daryl are going to be helping me at the Gold Coast one. I am still looking for 2 people to help me at the Brisbane one. Stay in front of the stand, get off your phone, remain eye contact, smiling, mirroring people. Take the next day off. It's super, super important. And expos are work. But they can be fun work if you go there planned and prep for it. So make sure that you're well rested, well fed, and well hydrated. And be sure that you've gone and ordered everything now. Make sure that you've ordered your business cards right now. I always run out of them because you kind of need 1,000. And at the end, I end up giving brochures, because sometimes brochures can actually be cheaper than business cards. So have a look again at the price of how much that's going to be. Maybe get it done on cheaper paper, not fancy paper, if people are just going to scrunch it up and throw it away. But for me, I don't hand over, like, I've got nicely done brochures. I'm not going to hand over that brochure unless I've qualified that person. I've qualified them by asking them a few questions to see if they are my ideal client, if they do have problems that I could solve for them, and then I will hand over my expensive brochure. All right, guys, I might go to questions now. If anyone has any questions or comments regarding expos, because then I'll keep the recording going for YouTube.
Yeah, yep. You did. I was meant to ask this when we had our one-on-one, and you did brush on it. Like, yes, our ideal clients will be there, and this, that, and the other. But can you give me an example of exactly who will be turning up? Will it be doctors? Will it be accountants? Will it be home gardeners? Will it be more men? Will it be more women? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to say probably, and a good question, but to ask the expo event organizer would be great. She'd be able to give you the statistics. For me, I think it's about 50-50 men and women from what I know. I would say that. This particular expo is sponsored by Coin, which is a cryptocurrency. So there are many people there that are wanting to spend their cryptocurrency coin, meaning that if you do have a coin offer on the day, you need to have it displayed as well, so that people know, they know what your coin offer is on the day. So since this expo for the last 3 years has been sponsored by Coin, I know that most of the people there are going there to spend their coin. So having a coin offer, which is a win-win for both of us, is paramount. So therefore, I've had a lot less in the last couple of years of other businesses. But the people who go there are business owners. So they are business owners looking for business support, or they are business owners who have a stand, who are wanting to offer their services.
Yeah.
So therefore, but for you, Jane, who's offering, paint and sip parties, and you've got children art, you've got adult art, you're also selling art equipment. There may be some hobbyists there, who knows? I love to do aerial artistry, and you love to swim, and Daryl runs, and we all do these different things, but you don't know that just because I wear I was going to say a suit, but I certainly don't wear a suit. Just because I wear a business dress doesn't mean I don't. But those qualifying questions are really going to help you.
Yeah.
When last did you draw something? How happy did it make you feel? Do you have any interest in drawing?
Have you been to a paint and sip before?
Have you been to? Are you looking for more creativity in your life? Because someone who's looking for creativity will explore that.
Yeah.
So are you looking for more creativity in your life? But a business owner who So say you're talking to someone and they've got a team. So they've just said to you, I've got a team right now. Let me go backwards. They're walking past and you go, hey, what prompted you to come here today? You go, oh, I'm coming to the business expo. Mojo's been down a little bit. I've got a team of a couple of people and they just seem to be fighting and not getting along. And, and it's, so I just came here today just to get out of the office and just for some inspiration. Awesome. Well, this is what I do. I offer artwork, and one of the things I do is help teams like yours reconnect through a team building exercise where I can come in, we can paint and sip, or it could just be a team building exercise where they can paint, have fun together, and it can really bring the joy back into the office space. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in doing? So like I've literally had, like, that was a 2-minute conversation, and you've got to try and have as many conversations as possible. So having a couple of those scripts sort of ready, just keywords, so that to open conversations and to close conversations, that's all you need. And to deflect the time wasters. So, you just need those ones. And once you've got those ones, I'll just simply say to them, hey, if you're interested to chat further, if you like, give me your details and I'll happily add you to my email list and give you a call back. They'll go, and I'll say, would you like me to do that? They'll go, no, thanks, that's okay. Or they'll go, yes, that's awesome. And now I've got a warm lead because they've said, yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because many say, no, I don't want to. It's no, thanks. It's okay. I'm just looking.
Yeah.
You've got to be okay with that. Do not carry on talking to them. Start fiddling behind your desk sufficiently. Because there are hundreds of people there. So you want to be talking to the ones that are the right ones.
Yeah.